All right, here we have the FX6 canister filter by Fluval. This is one of my favorite filters. It's a large canister filter, as you can see. It's very heavy duty, but it does a very good job of keeping tanks clean. We're putting this on our 90-gallon cichlid tank that we're installing. These things are rated up to, I think, a couple of 100 gallons. But we oversized it. Cichlids are dirty fish, so we're going to go ahead and use this larger canister filter. So we just unboxed it. This is what it comes with. You have your actual canister filter here. You've got your hose, which we will eventually have to cut in half to use for both the return line and the drain line. We've got a drain hose. This filter actually, as you can see here, has a drain so that you can actually drain water out of it if you need to remove it for maintenance, because this does hold about 5 gallons of water. We've also got our water inlets and our water return. Those will connect to the hose. We've got these nice brackets that go over the top of the tank to hold the hose in place. And we've got our valves, which go in here to connect to the hoses to let you shut off the flow of water for maintenance. Along with some assorted fittings, filter bags. This tank, to open it up, you unscrew all these, flip them down. The whole top lifts off. And inside, we've got a lot of filtration. That's why I like this. These handles come up. You can lift the whole basket assembly out. Get this out of the way. So these, you can actually pop off the sides. And each layer has different types of filtration. We've got our mechanical filtration with the foam. We've got bio media here for bacteria. And in this section, we'll use our carbon in the filter bags. All right, so here we've got our filter media for the Fluval FX6 canister filter. I'm going to show you how to get it set up for the first time operations. Whenever you get a new canister filter, you always want to rinse out all the media just to make sure it's nice and clean and nothing from the manufacturer is in there, any dust or anything like that. So to pull these apart, these come off of both sides. Now this top section actually has 2 filter pads in it, one on top in this tray, one inside. So we're just going to give these a quick rinse. Just get them nice and wet. They are generally pretty clean, but you want to make sure, you can see some of the foam came off. We just want to make sure that that stuff is out of there. We'll do that, each of these. And we'll also do that for these side foam pads. Alright, and you're going to do that for all 3 of these layers. Each one has some different media though, so we'll show you what's on the next level here. So on the next level, we've got our biofiltration media. It comes in these bags. Now these are dusty, so when you first get it, you're going to want to do this over a sink. I'm going to pour one bag into this little tray here, and rinse it off here, because these do have a lot of dust. You're going to want to get all that out of there so it doesn't clog up the tank water. I usually kind of try to shake them around, make sure I get inside them and get everything nice and wet. We're going to do the same thing with our second level in the actual tray itself here. And again, we'll rinse. We will also rinse these foam pads out, but for right now, I'm going to jump ahead to the next stage. And the last stage here is where I usually put my carbon. I'm going to rinse off this bottom felt pad first. Now these Fluval FX6s do come with these filter bags, but they do not come with carbon or any filter media. So I did buy some of that separately. We have our Marine Land carbon here. And basically we're going to pour some of that into each of these bags. I recommend doing this over the sink so you don't make a mess. Okay, fill that nice and full. I like to use a lot of carbon just to make it nice and clean. Now, the way to close these, kind of pinch it off. You're going to run this through this little tab here, and then there's a little clip that goes on and holds this like that. It'll hold it nice and tight. Now it's very important when you're using carbon to rinse it out thoroughly. So we're going to move this. And you'll see all that black water coming out of there. That's all the carbon dust. You want to get that out so it doesn't end up in your tank itself. So I like to just kind of manipulate the carbon a little bit to make sure I'm getting it all rinsed nice and neat. It'll take a while for the water to run completely clear. It's not necessary to get completely clear, but you want to get most of that black dust come out of there before you get this set up. All right, so that's ready. Let me get the rest of the water out. This will sit right in here. We're going to do the same thing with the second pack. We'll finish washing this off, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. All right, now that we've got our filter unboxed, we've got the filter media rinsed out, we're going to go ahead and start assembling it under the tank. So the first step is to take our valves. These are a pretty tight fit. They just go right on top of each of these. You'll hear that little click. That means that they're on there securely. We'll have one for the inlet and one for the outlet. All right, so those are both on there nice and tight. When the valves are vertical, it means that they're open, and you can actually close them for when you want to do maintenance on the tank. I usually leave them closed until I'm ready to go ahead and get the tank filled and ready to go. Then it's a matter of getting the tank or the filter under the tank here. This is a tight fit because we're using a large filter. I'm going to put it right about here, and these can turn so we can actually angle the valves in the direction that the hoses are going to be going. So that's about where that's going to sit. All right, so now that our filter's in place, we went ahead and we pre-cut the hose lengths. We measured them and made sure that they were going to fit. We're going to do our inlet first. So this is our inlet that's going to go in the tank. This is a nice big inlet. It's got grates so the fish can't get in there, and it actually extends so you can adjust how far down in the tank it goes. Now, these are very easy. This just fits. You shove the hose right in this rubber fitting here. It's on there nice and tight. And then this actually has suction cups, so we're going to go ahead and put this in the tank. It's going to go right here. Stick it to the glass. And then this filter comes with these nice little clips. So when these hoses are new, you kind of have to maneuver them in here. Once that's about tight in here, we're actually going to move this down a little bit. Alright, so that's about the level we want it. And then we just take these clips hold the hose right in place. Put one on the front, one on the top, and one goes on the back. We're actually going to have to move this out a little bit to fit. And there we go. Then the hose goes right down underneath the tank. And we use our hose clamps to attach it to the filter itself. Let's go on here. Attach this to the filter inlet. We'll tighten that up, and that's good to go. All right, so we went ahead and got all our plumbing done. We have our inlet hooked up and our outlet. We actually ended up shortening up one of the hoses a little bit. We don't really want a dip in the drain line just to prevent any stagnant water from sitting in there if the filter's off or anything. So this ensures that it's a nice smooth return line. Everything is clamped in down here. The next step will be to fill the tank, add the water, and we'll take it from there. All right, so now that we got our filter all connected, we got our tank filled, it's ready to go. So our last step is we have to prime this. This particular filter, you actually need to fill the filter with water before you can get started. So I just use a little scoop and dump it right in. This filter holds between 4 and 5 gallons of water, so it's good to have quite a bit handy. You should only have to do this once when you first install the tank. As long as you close the valves when you take it apart, the water will stay in the pipes and you shouldn't have to reprime it. It should fill itself when you reopen it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dump the rest of this in. Alright, that is just about filled. So now we're going to go ahead and put this top back on. Make sure you tighten all these up. Alright, then we need to get this back under the tank. It's going to be very heavy now that there's water in it. Alright. And we'll go ahead and stick our valves back on. I'm going to go ahead and open the valves. And then when we plug this in, it should be primed. There'll be a lot of bubbles at first. And this unit is actually self-priming. Once it gets water in it, it'll shut off after about 2 minutes to get all the air out, and then it'll turn itself back on.